once again, we're in the dark room, and this segment I'm going to talk about toning. So right now I'm going to set up to do sepia toning. Bleach sepia, which is a mixture of potassium bromide and potassium ferrocyanide. And those two are part A, which will go in one tray. And then the real stinky stuff that creates the toner is sodium sulfide. And that stuff is pretty stinky, and it'll be the second one. So these are lith prints that I've shot that I'm going to tone. So basically right now, we are just putting them in the water to get them soaked again. Okay, you can stop there. Tell me when.
Yep, go.
So, okay, we are now, we've got our prints ready to, be toned. We soak them first. So, I'm going to mix first the part A, and I'm using 32 grams of potassium bromide. Now, you'll notice I'm using a very old scale. I usually use a food scale, but the battery's dead, so you know what? Who needs the batteries when you have the old technology? So I'm just mixing in some bromide, potassium bromide, and the second part is the potassium ferrocyanide. I am not a chemist in any way, shape, or form, and I cannot give you the exact breakdown of how all this works chemically. There are sites, photographic sites called, for example, apog.org, and on APOG you can learn all you want about chemistry and how the materials work. This is just basically a solution that is required to bleach out the print. So this is the part A. It's what we call, if you bought Kodak packages of sepia toner, there would be an A and a B package. This is part A. So we mix 32 grams of each component with 10 liters of water. So that's 2 liters of water. And we're just going to add in some more. Now just hold off for 1 second. 70 degrees Celsius. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'm going to go 10 liters total. You could be off by 2 liters on either side. It really doesn't matter because after here we're going to go basically time. Okay, hold on for a second. I just raised the temperature again because I like dissolving my chemicals in warm water. So that's a lot warmer than normal. 2 liters, and I'm going to go turn the water back to 70. Okay, so part A is mixed. Part B, this stuff really stinks. And I've always used it. I don't love it, but there. Okay. I try not to get these fumes. For some reason with the sodium sulfite, I get a wicked reaction to the fumes. So you got to be careful. You notice I'm wearing gloves. I don't recommend you to do this kind of work without gloves. We have proper ventilation above it. You see how I just got a little snootful of this sodium sulfite. And I don't know why I react to this stuff. And it's the only one that I really react to. I mean, if you stand over an open tray of Selenium toner, for example, and if you're like me and you have fillings in your teeth, you'll actually feel your teeth starting to rock. And it's because the selenium wants to attach to the silver in your teeth. And that is one little thing that completely freaked me out when it happened to me. And after we've done this, we're probably going to do a bit of selenium as well. But right now we have to get through the procedure of getting all the sepia done. Now, second solution, same component, 32 grams of the material, that's 3 and 10 liters of water. Water's around room temperature, 4, 5. You notice that I'm not precision, I don't need to be. Okay, so let's hold this over here. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Tell me when.
Go.
Okay, so here we go. We got prints in the water ready to tone. I have a platen aluminum sheet, stainless steel, I guess. I'm not sure what it is, stainless steel aluminum, sitting on top of the tray with a hose of water to wash off the print. I have behind the camera another big washer where when you see me going off camera, it means I'm going with the print over there. So, here's the bleach, here's the toner. Got the timer going. So I don't really know what I want to do yet on these prints because it's Ilford Art 300. It's an emulsion that's, I think the emulsion is basically Ilford warm tone emulsion on a inkjet kind of rag paper. It's a new paper that Harman has developed in conjunction with Anamule. I love it. I think it's an absolutely phenomenal looking paper. You have to be a bit careful with it. It's a bit wimpy in the wetness. It floats, so you got to watch out when you're washing it. But it's very silver rich and it's really cool. So now I'm going to try to bleach this. What I want to get is a bit of tone. And toning is usually in my world to create more of a separation, more of a body into the work, where you feel more of a third dimension. And by toning the highlights one color with the sepia, and then toning the shadow areas with selenium, which go a different color, you get this opposite effect, and which creates a tension, and I find it quite beautiful. Okay, so we're going to look at the timer. I'm going to start off. I only count from the point that it gets completely in the bleach. So I'm going to go 10 seconds. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000, 10 1,000. Wash it off. This wash-off technique is really the cat's ass. You get the bleach right away off. Now, if you look at the print compared to the one beside it, bleached, unbleached, you should be able to see a little bit of a highlight loss where the highlights have gone brighter. And in fact, in some cases, you lose any detail. Okay, so what we're going to do then is go into the sepia toner. And this toner attaches itself to the areas that were bleached out. And there we go. And there's no real time on this. I keep it in for minimum 30 seconds. And rock the tray a little bit. There's no real worry about time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back one of my old prints. I actually like this tone, so I don't want to change the look of the print drastically. But I am going to selenium tone this after I finish this process, and that will be the next step of this whole procedure. Okay, so I've got this print here. Now, does it look any browner? Well, look at it and then I'll let you decide. So that was a 10-second bleach. And it is different. It's actually really sweet. I like the word sweet. That's a good term for prints. They're sweet-looking prints. Okay? So, tone, sepia tone, no tone. Now, if you go to apug.org, and start asking a bunch of chemical questions, you will find out that by toning, you actually increase the permanence of a print. And the best toners to use are sepia in conjunction with the selenium. And funny enough, it's a wicked combination. So, toning is a very big part of our process here. We built our darkroom to be able to take the print beyond just a physical print and then say, oh yeah, that's a black and white, you know. It gives us creative control. Okay, so we're going to put this one off camera into the washer. I've established my time. I've got 30 prints to do. What is the person to do? Well, like any good Canadian, I like to multitask. So I'm going to do 2 at a time. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000, 10, 11, 12. Oh, you will see that I gave it a little bit more. I want a little bit more brown in my print. And the sepia creates the brown tone. Selenium is a bit of a, I hear people say it cools the print down. I've never known that with a warm tone paper. I always find the selenium turns the color a little bit reddish. If you go way too strong, it'll be red like that. So I don't know where this cooling down of print with selenium comes from, because I've never seen that. I've always seen it basically warms up. So now we're going into the brown toner. Looks great. Nice and brown, not too much. It hasn't gone overboard. Okay, so I'm just going to leave them. I'm going to leave these 2 face down. And like any good Canadian, I'm going to multitask. And once again, you notice I'm not even looking at the timer. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 1,000, 9 1,000, 10 1,000, 11 1,000, 12 1,000, 13 1,000. Okay? So that's my time. And I'm doing 2 at a time. You see the yellow bleach coming off from behind. You can see that both prints are definitely bleaching out a bit. And now I'm going to put them face up. And I'm going to walk off camera with the 2 prints from before and put them in the washer. One thing that should be noted is that anything like this is not an exact science. It's not exactly repeatable. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But that's okay, because I don't see that repeatability, exact dead nuts repeatability is an issue, because even when I made these prints, these are lift prints. So when I made the prints, I pulled the print when I saw the black in Safe Light. So none of the prints are exactly the same. They're slightly different. But the reality is they all work. They're all the same kind of vision. And to me, that's really what's beautiful about analog work, is that the artist or the printmaker or the photographer, whatever you call yourself, you can play with it a bit. You can add a bit of your own idiosyncrasies, your own changes that you want. You're not going to hit the button and then just press it, then all of a sudden it's going to be exactly each time. Everyone's identical. kind of like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's kind of like the days of etching presses and printing from plates or copper plates. You know, every time you do an impression, it changes slightly. Not all of them are identical. They never will be. And to me, that's what's beautiful about this kind of work, is that there can be slight screw-ups like that, and the world didn't end. Right? We're able to recoup and continue on. The repeatability is not such the big deal. I believe the ability to change your mind and do different things. Some of the best prints I've ever made in my life were mistakes. I hate to admit it, but they were. I just did something different. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I think you're getting the idea that it's not the end of the world if they're not dead nuts perfect. They can be different, and I embrace that in my own printmaking and the way I work. Always have. One thing that I've always done with my clients is I've given them at least 2 prints, and they're always different. So they get to see a different look, a darker, a lighter. One may have more contrast, one may be flatter, areas of the print may be detailed more. It's all part of the process, and it's what this facility is all about. There are other facilities that will tell you how exact they are, and they use machines, and they use this, and they use that, and quite frankly, I rely more on my eyes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For example, this print here physically is a bit lighter, so I'm going to give it less bleach than this one here. And I just saw that, and that's the little differences that we can embrace. Okay, so here we are again. We've done all the sepia toning, and now we're going to do the selenium. So I poured 3 bottles of selenium into my tray. Very pungent. I use selenium at 1 to 5. So this is 1 part selenium, 5 parts water. I use the Ilford selenium toner as of late. I used to use the Kodak, but now I'm using Ilford. I like a stronger selenium toner. It gives me a lot more adaptability in making the color of the print the way I want. So I've got a timer off camera that I can view, and basically it's very simple, and it's basically time. And this is where time is important, because if you don't get the print into the washer, get the selenium off, it will continue on toning. So that's a critical part of selenium toning. So we're going to take a print, and I just going to put it in the tray face down, and then when I like the color, or just before I like where I think the color is, I'm going to put it in here. So basically I'm waiting until it gets to 0, and in it goes. And I'm just going to rock it slightly. Nothing here to see other than the fact that I'm going to give it time and let the toner start changing the low end, the shadows. So now I'm starting to see the print warm up just a little bit. It's so little.
Rolling.
Okay, well, don't roll yet. I got adaptability of being able to selenium tone at 1 to 5. I'm about 25 seconds in. Well, I'm about 20 seconds in. and I'm starting to see the print slightly change. I know 45 seconds is correct for this. I've did enough of these prints to know that this is my formula. And I'm starting to see this print really punch. And basically, I put it in the washer and try to get it in there as quickly as I can without hurting the print. And you notice how this paper just jumps up like crazy. It's this new Art 300 really goes fast. So I'm going to do 2 at a time. Once again, us Canadians are very adaptable to doing more than one thing at a time. So I now know 45 seconds is my time. I have lots of chemistry, and you notice I've got all these bottles in here. So I never scrimp on things like chemistry. This Selenium toner, you can tell by the smell, you can feel it. I actually feel it right now in my teeth. I've told you about the way selenium likes attached to metal, silver. Well, it certainly does. Now, when we're selenium toning, we're primarily putting tone in this low end. And when we did the sepia toner, we were primarily putting toner in the high end, the highlights. So you have this effect of blending over the two and protecting both ends of the print. If you selenium tone only, and you do a 1 to 20 selenium toner, which you hear is the